What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode we were messing around with bees. This episode we're going to continue messing around with bees just a little bit. We want to get them to the point where we can automate it, set them up, let them go. We need to collect a lot of the tropical combs or whatever they are, the silky combs, whatever. Yeah, because we need to make the apiarist gear. If we take a look back at the quest book, down here, section 8, come in here. Why did you go into this one? That's weird. So anyway, we needed to get the Feel the Sting quest. This is what we're working towards. Yeah, we need 24 of the woven fabric or whatever, woven silk. Yeah, I'm going to get woven silk. We need 9 of the silk wisps. Get the silk wisps, we have to take silky propolis, put it through a centrifuge, and then we get a 60% chance for 1. Yeah. To get the silky propolis, we get silky combs, and we do that, and we get 80% chance. So, yeah, we're only going to get... what is it, like 4/5 silky propolis, 80% of them from the silky combs that we get, and it's only a 60% chance of that we'll actually get the silk wisps. So we need a lot of those combs, right? Pretty much what we need to do is get these bees automated. I was kind of working on this just a little bit. I haven't done any automation yet, but I've been working on this bee right here, this tropical queen. Yeah, the tropical bees need a certain temperature, and they also need a certain humidity. And in the ocean is not exactly the same as the jungle. Oh, they also need jungle flowers, which is vines, so that's why we have a giant jungle tree here. So, to get this thing working, I had to put it through the acclimatizer. We had to put in snowballs, so its temperature is now says warm / both 1. So that means it can be in a warm climate, or a little bit warmer, or a little bit cooler. And the both 1 is enough for it to be here in the ocean biome. The damp says both 2. It needs a really damp climate, like a jungle would be, really humid, but the ocean isn't as damp apparently, so we had to give it the both 2. So that's what we got here. All right, so once we get that going, we have to let this thing go through its life cycle. We want to be able to start getting drones that are stacking. That way we know that the traits aren't going to change, they're all going to be the same. Once we get a bunch of drones together, then we can start duplicating that queen into more queens, right? Then we can get more hives going and we can get those combs that much faster. Other ways that we can do this, besides the fact that we need these things to stack, we need to get more frames in here so they produce their product, right? So we can put up to 3 frames in here. The proven frames work just the same as like the regular frames or the treated frames or whatever. There's also chocolate frames that we're going to want. These make the bees die off that much faster. Yep, they die off faster, so we can get the drones faster. So this is probably what we're going to be working on very soon. So we need an impregnated frame and then wrap that with cocoa beans to get the chocolate frame. The impregnated frame is made from impregnated sticks and string. The impregnated stick comes from 2 logs, makes 2 sticks, so it's like 1 log equals 1 stick. And then you need 100 millibuckets of seed oil. So we're going to need a lot of seed oil. We're going to need a lot of logs. Yep. So we got a lot of stuff ahead of us. Another problem is this bee only works during the daytime. Now, there are ways that you can get the traits off of bees that work during nighttime, the nocturnal trait. Unfortunately, we don't really have access to any way to get those traits off the bees, and I really don't want to try and crossbreed them because that's just going to take far too long without having like the genetics mod going or gendistry or any of that stuff. So pretty much what we're going to do, we're just going to breed this bee, hopefully get all of its stats working so the bee will just work. We'll try and copy that into 4 more of these apiaries, and we're just going to let them go. But like I said, we're going to need the chocolate frames to kill the bees off faster so we can get the drones faster and we can fill these up faster and make the cones faster, right? Okay, so that's where we're at with this. Cool. So chocolate frames, we need cocoa beans. I think we might have some of those. Let's take a look. We don't. So how do we get cocoa beans in this mod pack? We can get it from a cocoa comb. Don't think we're going to do that. A metal former, apparently, if you put lapis lazuli ore in, that gives you lapis lazuli ore out or whatever. I don't know. Pumpkin seeds and the mana infusion with the alchemy catalyst will give us cocoa beans, so that's probably how we're going to do it. All right, so we need pumpkin seeds. Do we have pumpkins? I think we do. Because, yeah, we got pumpkin seeds 10 to 10. Let's go ahead and just get some 111s. Cool. All right, so we might even... I don't know what the best way to do that. If we should grow a bunch of pumpkins and drop them in, convert them from mana into the cocoa beans, or if we should just get a whole ridiculous amount of bone meal and just bone meal the cocoa beans and do it like the vanilla Minecraft method, probably that would be the smartest way. We're probably going to want a whole wall full of like jungle logs, then we can just set them up so they grow naturally too. Yeah, there's a lot of things we need to do here. All right, so let's just put those in there. All right, so we got 4 of our cocoa beans, so that'll be the start of our cocoa bean farm. Now, I was looking a little while ago, and we seem to have gone through pretty much all of our bone meal. I just made like a little under a stack out of the rest of our bones that we got from the bone essence or the skeleton essence. Yeah, we have like 50 bone meal total, which will get us a little bit more of the cocoa beans, but that's really not going to do it for us. So we need to get the skeleton seeds going so we can get more of the essence of skeleton. Yep. So I think that's probably going to be our next step here. I'll go ahead. Let's see. Do we have any? Is it crop sticks? Not crop. Yeah, I think we have some crop sticks over here. Okay, cool. And I don't remember if we had any space available on the farm over there. We might, or I might have to remove some seeds of something. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and get these hooked up. We'll start collecting some of the skeleton essence, and then we'll move on, guys. All right, guys. Well, I decided to change it up a little bit. Instead of just doing the bone meal method for making a lot of the cocoa beans, yeah, I decided to set up another one of these farms. You know, we set up these platforms a while ago, right? We got all these things set up, and we haven't been using it. I've been just constantly changing out the seeds for our center platform one, collecting the resources we need, and then changing them out again later when we don't need them. But anyway, I decided to set up this middle, or I guess not a middle one, but one of our max size farms right here. Yeah, and we're gonna set this up to harvest cocoa beans. At least that's the idea. Whoop, that did a lot of damage. Anyway, I'm not sure if this is gonna be able to harvest with or without the soil. We'll have to figure that out. And if so, if it needs the soil, we'll move the soil from over here, and we'll have to set up a way to start making more of that garden soil. So anyway, I have set up the cable here. This is running from our main ME network. This is bringing over RF. Yeah, the P2P tunnel is hooked up, so we got power right here. We need to get water into the farm as well. Yeah, we don't have any water in here. So I was thinking what we should do is set up another, like a sub network specifically to bring water over. So we got a P2P tunnel here. This is set to fluid. Just click it with the bucket to change it. Yeah, and then I ran that under the floor, and it just comes out right over here to this P2P tunnel. Again, fluid, just right click it with a bucket. Did I hear like a skeleton? I thought I heard something. Anyway, so we have the P2P here. We have the P2P there. We need to link them, so we need to do the memory card action. So we'll grab this guy, shift right click to save the settings, right click to load the settings. All right, so those are set. The only problem is this wire doesn't have any power. Yeah, it needs to be powered in order to send P2P stuff. So we got some quartz fiber here. We can just right click that here, right click that there. That's only going to allow power to go through. And to be honest, we only need one of them. Yeah, we don't want the power from this line, or I'm sorry, all the data from this line to go over here. So we'd only really need the one, but we just put quartz on both sides. It's fine. And we're using red colored ME quartz. What is this called? ME glass cable that's a red color, just to kind of show that that is the power line. That's all that is. Not necessary, but just for us to see. So now this should have power, and it should be sending water from our pump through the ME cable, through the P2Ps to here, and sure enough, we have water here. So, okay, that is all good. So the next thing we need to do is set this farm up to harvest cocoa beans, right? Yeah. So we're going to need an intricate circuit board. I just got done making up like 8 of these things. The rest of them we're cooking up in a carpenter over by where we're doing the bees. So we need to get a soldering iron plus this intricate circuit board. And I believe I saw there was lapis, electron tubes. Whoa, come on, get me through here. So I did set up some lapis seeds over here. We've been collecting that. We're running kind of low on lapis. No, that's a skeleton. I did do those. Yeah, we got lapis lazuli growing right here. Or lazuli, or however you say that. I keep hearing them saying it wrong. So just lapis. So we got lapis coming in. Got 444 of the essence. I got a whole lot of the lapis made, and then I made 4 stacks of lapis electron tubes. Yeah, 5 stacks of lapis, 2 stacks of the redstone, and then half a stack of glass to make all of these. Okay, so we have that stuff done. So we have the soldering iron here, so we should just be able to put the intricate circuit board. Actually, I think let's switch this to a managed farm, manual farm. We'll put the circuit board here. And I think we do this. Yeah, cocoa plantation. I don't think we need an entire large farm for that, but I'm not sure which direction is going to be which. So for now, we can just do this and we can make more of these later. It's not that big of a deal. So all 4 quadrants of this thing should now be ready for cocoa beans. Now the question is, I don't know like how the cocoa beans actually work here, because I don't think I've done this before. So let's do... We'll grab jungle. I know that the beans have to be on jungle. I did bone meal some of them. But the thing that I'm curious about is, are they on this level or are they on this level? And do we need soil down below? So let's figure that out. So we'll put bean here, bean here. Let's grab... Oh, we also need fertilizer. So the farm will work, I think. Bone meal... Okay, let's try this out. Let's put some fertilizer in here. Yeah, no fertilizer. That should go away, I think. All right, so we got the fertilizer in here. Yep, that went away. It doesn't say there's no farmland, so that's good. So let's bone meal this. And that one. Is the farm going to see it? Does it say there's anything wrong? It doesn't say there's anything wrong. Manual farms. It might even need to be 1 block higher. I honestly don't know how these things work. Oh, it did. Okay, it popped them. All right, so it looks like this level and this level works. So I wonder how tall we can go. The thing is, it does not plant the cocoa beans back again. And that's what I was kind of afraid of. So I guess I should look and see if there is an automatic cocoa bean farm where it will replant the beans, or at least leave the pod there. Because if it just pops them off like that and I have to come back here and replant them, that's not good. Okay, well, let me go ahead and do a little bit more research on this and figure out what we're going to do. And we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so after playing around with this for a little while, I finally found out how to do the farm properly. So yeah. I just got done hooking it up so it's completely automated, but yeah, it looks like the farm in the same configuration that we have it would actually plant the cocoa beans if it has them in its inventory. Yeah, and since there's a large area, it took it a while, but as you can see, like, you can see things happening, cocoa beans being farmed, beans being replaced, all automatic. We're still set to a manual farm. So yeah, it says it's manual, but it is actually replacing the cocoa beans for us, which is pretty cool. So I just got done setting this up down here. Just added in a little bit more stuff. So we have an import bus. So when these cocoa beans finally overflow, I think they'll end up down here. And that overflow will go into our ME system. Yeah, and then I put an export bus right here where we're exporting fertilizer, both of that into 1 farm hatch on the bottom side. So yeah, the fertilizer is keeping up. Cocoa beans are being farmed. Don't have to worry about that again. I really don't know how many cocoa beans we're gonna need. I started filling up this farm like almost completely. I ran out of the jungle wood, so it's not 100% full. I don't really know how many cocoa beans we're gonna need, but I think we're gonna be set for however many we definitely will need. Anyway, the one last thing I need to do is just put a lever on this thing so we can turn the farm on and off, and that's something I can do at any time. That's not a big deal. But yeah, it looks like just putting the logs 2 blocks above the stone brick was enough for it to plant and harvest. It will harvest these cocoa beans. Like if you make these logs, I went up like 20 blocks and I bone mealed bean pods all the way up there, and it did harvest them all, but it only will replant on the block that's 2 blocks above the stone brick. So I decided, let's not go crazy. I really don't want to have to look at this thing. I'll let it go by itself. So yeah, this is what we went with. And I could even save some more logs, like if I just, remove these bottom blocks, those don't have to be there. This could all be dirt or farmland or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. I like it. All right, so now that we got that under control, I still need to take a look at our bees over here. Like I've been spending a lot of time really trying to get this silly farm going. Yeah, we need to get the bees over here taken care of. Now, the drones look like they are stacking now, so I don't think we really have to worry about that. The only other thing we do have to worry about, though, is getting this thing to be automated. We want the drones to go automatically here, and we want the princess to go automatically here. So I think we could probably just use, well, not the basic mechanical pipes, but the logical transporters to pull out of the side and probably back into the top, I think is how that's going to work. And we're going to want like an overflow for when the drones get above 64. So that's something we'll have to figure out. Like, I don't know how the logical transporters work. Like if it goes to the furthest away spot last, and if so, that'd be easy to do. Or if there's like a dense mode for the pipe or however that works. But anyway, that's going to be the next thing I'm going to work on and just keep sleeping through the night so these things will work. Anyway, I'm going to keep at it and we'll be back, guys. All right, guys. Well, I went ahead and I put some logistical or logical, whatever these things are called, logistical transporters on the apiary. Yes, we got one set to extract and we got one set to insert. And because we don't have our apiarist gear, yeah, these bees are poisoning me, which doesn't seem to be doing much damage since we have a lot of protection on us. But anyway, it is just annoying to listen to. So I haven't tried this yet with this one set to insert, but with this one just set to extract, the queen ended up over here along with the combs, but it looked like the drones went back into the hive. So I don't know how this is all going to work. I'm hoping that that's going to solve the problem when those bees die off. But anyway, the next portion of this whole ordeal that we needed to do, yeah, we need seed oil so we can start making the impregnated sticks. Yeah, we need seed oil on 2 logs. Each log turns into 1 impregnated stick. 8 sticks, 8 impregnated sticks turns into 1 frame. One of those, the impregnated frames plus 4 cocoa beans is the chocolate frame. Anyway, so I ended up taking our 1 pumpkin seed that was a 10-10-10. Yeah, and I did 4 rows of 9 of those. So we got some pumpkins growing over here. Down below, I have set up a storage drawer, a jungle drawer for pumpkins. We have all the upgrades in here, so we should be able to get a ridiculous amount of these over time. So what's also kind of cool about these pumpkins, let me just take one. The pumpkin, when it gets harvested, we have 4 of them, right? If you put a pumpkin in your crafting grid, you get 4 pumpkin seeds per pumpkin. So each harvest of 1 10-10-10 pumpkin crop will give us 16 seeds. 4 pumpkins, each have 4 seeds, right? Okay, so that's a lot of seeds. So we'll be able to get seeds for our seed squeezer, for the squeezer where they get seed oil pretty quickly. Another thing that's kind of cool about them is they can also be used over here in the composting bin. We've been needing a lot of the compost to fill out the rest of our automated farms. So this is going to be the way we're going to do it. We'll leave the pumpkins there. We'll just get a ridiculous amount of these things. And eventually we'll just be able to compost those. So that's going to be kind of cool. All the extras we get that we will do that with. So I've just been waiting for the pumpkins to get harvested. Yeah, you can see the status over here. We can take like a full stack out of here. We can make 4 stacks of pumpkin seeds. I'm sticking them over here in the squeezer like so. Yep, I know, very crazy. I did install the intricate circuit board. This is some of the ones that I made from earlier. We can put that in the soldering iron like so. Just put one of them in there. Switch this over to machine upgrade. And blazing electron tubes in here, I have 4 of them in that. Upgrades the machine. I think it gives it a lot of speed. Let's take a look. Yeah, speed boost 2. I think you can stack those. I think all 4 of those are increasing the speed of that machine by 100%. And it also is increasing the power usage by 40%. Yep. So that's what we got going. So it's squeezing the seeds a lot faster than it would be by default. So definitely something that we need to speed up. So I also put in a stack of logs over here, set the recipe. Yep. All right. Guess what? I put in 2 stacks. So we got a full stack of the impregnated sticks now. Yeah, and the carpenter seems to go decently fast. It's not like super slow. But each one of those recipes is 100 millibuckets. So we're going to be waiting on the squeezer. Even though we have the upgrade in here, yeah, it's still not going as fast as I would like. So anyway, now that we have this, we should be able to take some of our cotton. We should be able to make some string. There's a stack of string. Put those guys away. There's some impregnated sticks. There is 8 whole frames. Yeah, it's not so much, huh? So we're going to need to get like a tree farm set up to really make use of this. Looks like we're up to almost 1,700 cocoa beans, which is a decent amount. So anyway, we can put all those impregnated frames away. We just need 3 chocolate frames, like so. And we can replace the frames that are over here in the hive. We're using, what were these? The proven frames? Yeah, those increase the output of the combs from the bees, but it also makes them live a lot longer, I think. If we put in the chocolate frames, this shortens their lifespan, but it also makes it so it outputs the combs a little bit faster too. So we should be getting drones faster. Yeah, everything over here should be going faster. This is such a slow process right at the very start, but we're making our way to progression here. We already get 23 combs. We need something like, I can't even remember. It was like 6 stacks of combs or whatever before we'll be able to get our apiary skier. But yeah, we're on our way. So as soon as those bees die off and we get 16 drones, we'll look at making ourselves another queen or another, yeah, we'll have to convert one of these princesses into another one. Looks like we have one more pristine princess. The ignoble ones, remember, these can die off. It's like a 10% chance. We don't really want to use those, I don't think. That is a configuration setting, and I don't know if that configuration setting is turned on or off in this mod pack. But either way, we have a bee here that will convert into another one of the jungle bees. Yeah, and we'll be able to do this that much faster. So I guess what I should be doing beyond that is looking at making more hives. Yeah, there was a way that we could do that. I can't remember offhand how to do that, but if we get more hives, we can get more princesses, which could be more pristine ones, and we could fill up these hives a little bit more, right? Okay, so I guess one more thing we could do. Last episode we did this climate control quest, but we never did claim the reward. Oh, you know what? I didn't even see this. That's going to give us a stack of silky combs, so that'll give us way faster along the path. We're only going to need, I guess, 2.5 more stacks or something like that. So anyway, we'll grab that. It'll give us some lava cans and some sand. So let's go ahead and claim that reward. Yeah, it also wants us to make some of these other genetic machines, incubator, and all of these. I was noticing though, yeah, we'll be getting like some alveary blocks, and that might be kind of cool. That'll help speed up the process that much further, or that much faster. But in order to make alvearies, we have to breed bees all the way up so we can get the, what is it called? The royal jelly. We need royal jelly and pollen in order to make those alveary blocks. And the carpenter, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, the scented panelings come from the royal jelly and the pollen. The scented paneling, the uses for these are used to make the alveary blocks. The royal jelly comes from the imperial bee. And this comes from Noble Majestic. The Majestic comes from, yeah, this is kind of a thing. Cultivated Noble. The cultivated comes from like a hive bee plus a common. The common comes from 2 hive bees. So it's kind of a process to get there. I'm hoping that somewhere along the lines, we will be given those bees or some way to make that stuff. Or maybe the quest will reward us with more alveary blocks. But anyway, I think what I'm going to end up doing, let's go ahead and let's do this incubator quest. So we've seen the reinforced casings before. That's not so bad. Enhanced circuit boards, furnaces, bronze gear. Let me just go ahead and craft this up real quick. I guess we'll read the quest before we go. So it says incubation. By dabbling in some serious science, you think you might be able to indulge in eugenic manipulation of your bees. Is that how you say that? Eugenic? I guess. Anyway, however, there is a few things you're going to need first. First up, you'll need to be able to incubate a few different things. A single incubator may be enough to get by, but it may be easier to dedicate one to each process you need them for. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and make this incubator, and then we will be right back, guys. All right, guys, so as a simplified solution to get this thing to be at least automated so we can get a lot of the drones, yeah, I'd set this up so the logical transporter goes into a hopper. For whatever reason, it'd pull out the queen. The queen would come over here, I guess the princess. And yeah, it'd never go to the top. I even switched this so it would extract from the chest and it would just kind of like bounce over here and then bounce back and then back and forth and just never go into the apiary. So setting it up like this is the closest point. So I assume it'll always go to the closest point. Yeah, both the drones and the princess end up in here. They drop down into the apiary and then it just is automated. So the only problem with this is we're getting the silky combs up there. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. But anyway, I don't have to worry about this thing. I can just kind of like walk away and things happen. So we were supposed to be making an incubator. So I went ahead and I made one of those, and I was reading the quest book here. And it says we have to take water. Let's look at this. You need to start with growth medium and incubate it with water to produce liquid growth medium. Yep. And then we have to take the liquid growth medium, incubate it with wheat. And then that'll get bacteria. And then finally we have to incubate the bacteria with sugar to produce enzymes. So I ended up making 3 of these incubators. Yeah. So we needed to make some of the growth medium. I haven't even looked at this recipe yet. So we look at the growth medium here. Okay, so that's sugar plus bone meal. I guess I don't have any sugar. Oh, actually, do we have sugar cane here? We have a little bit. All right, so we can go ahead and make some sugar real quick. I think we'll do like 2 stacks or whatever we can do. All right, so 64 plus 40, that should be enough. And then we'll do like a stack of this growth medium. All right, that should be pretty good for now. Anyway, I think we're gonna want some water. I just put water in some of these tin cans. This should work pretty fine. Okay, so we put, I think, the growth medium here, and then I'll scooch over here, and we just need to provide this thing with a little bit of water. And can I not click these on here? I thought I was going to be able to do that. Apparently I can't. So I guess what we could do, have like a tank or something, fluid tank, plus one of these basic mechanical pipes. Should be able to do this just fine. Oh, that's the acclimatizer. Whoops. Whoops, whoops. That would probably be the reason why. There we go. Oh, that's a wrong pipe as well. Goodness, I'm just having all sorts of fails right now. There we go. Okay, so we got the basic mechanical pipe on there. Yeah, we can't... Yeah, we can't click that in here. I don't think we can... Yeah, it won't work like that. Okay, so we'll just put like a fluid tank on top for now. I mean, obviously the best way to do this would be having like one of the Buildcraft pumps or whatever. But for right now, this should work just fine. So we'll go ahead and extract. I think I can right-click on here. There we go. All right, so we got water going into this thing. This is a glitch that I've seen with these machines before. This doesn't exactly, or this doesn't, that's like a ghost item. It's actually over here. So if I click this, it goes away. So we are making the growth medium. That's going at a decent speed here. So we should be able to grab some more of these basic mechanical pipes. And we'll just connect it right like this. And we will extract from this one over into this one. Cool. Now, I think we had to do that with wheat. Is that what we had to do? And that should make bacteria. And then we have to take the bacteria and combine that with sugar. All right, so yeah, we're making that decently quickly, I guess. Okay, so we'll have to do one more of these things. Oh, that's a problem. Well, if we put the power underneath, I could put the water to the side, or I could put the water in from underneath or something like that. Let's just get rid of this for now. All right, we'll worry about that later. Let's just try and get this thing so it works. There we go. Now we're sucking out the bacteria into here, and then we have to put that with sugar, and that should start making our growth, or not the growth medium, but the enzymes. That's what it is. Now, I'm not sure how much of this it needs. Maybe it's like a full 1 bucket, like 1,000 millibuckets in order for this to work. Yeah, insufficient liquid, or maybe it's half a bucket. I don't know. Either way, it's going to take a minute for this thing to fill up. So let's go ahead and wait for that to happen. We'll take a look at this and hopefully be able to complete our quest. All right, guys. Well, it seems to be working now. I'm noticing that the bacteria isn't like really full. It's just, you know, it has a decent amount in there. We're not gaining it really fast, but it is creating the enzymes. So maybe this thing that said that there wasn't enough liquid in the tank was incorrect or whatever. But there we go. There's our enzyme. So if we look back at the quest, this wanted us just to have 1 enzyme to complete this, and that's going to give us 5 of the alveoli blocks and 16 more enzymes. But the rate we're getting these, I don't know if we really need those 16 more. But anyway, there we go. So now we got this quest complete. Let's go ahead and claim the reward. Awesome. So we got a little bit of an alveoli. I think we need 27 of these alveoli blocks with the various different components intermixed in order to actually make the multi-block alveoli structure. But I guess that gets us a little bit towards that goal, right? Okay, so I guess the other things we have to do is make a few more of these genetics machines. Yeah, and then we got whatever that is. We're still waiting on our tropical bees to do their thing. We're pretty much waiting on getting about 16 additional drones here so I can make another princess. Yeah, and get that going twice as fast. Or at least that's the general idea. But I think we're pretty much out of time for today, unfortunately, guys. Yeah, we spent a lot of times with the genetics, with the forestry stuff, setting up the cocoa farm over here, messing around with getting that bee to work, getting the different combs going. Yeah, I mean, setting up this farm, this was kind of cool. Like, I know I've set these up before in the past, but I don't remember setting them up with the multi-farm. I think I set it up with the older style forestry farms in Forestry 3, or was it Forestry 2? I can't remember. It's been a while. But anyway, this is kind of cool, figuring it out, making sure that it works. Yeah, and being able to collect a ridiculous amount of cocoa. Yeah, should we need that much more in the future? All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.